Hey guys, Edgar92106 here, and today I will review the recently released Last of Us Part 2. I decided not to only make a review on the game, but on the previous game too. I didn't make a review on the previous game in any one of my videos, so I decided to just give more of a retrospective on this series. A little disclaimer though, I will talk about spoilers in this video, not this early in the video, but I will at some point in this video, so I decided to leave timestamps in the description below, not just for spoilers, but for different parts in the video. So first, let's get into The Last of Us, the first one. In the previous game, we are introduced to a lot of characters, including main ones, being Joel, who was a man who was a father whose daughter was killed by a soldier ordered to kill them because of the disease outbreak, his brother Tommy, his companion Tess, the Fireflies, and the leader of the Fireflies, Marlene, and of course the girl Joel had to look after and take to the Fireflies, Ellie. The main ones are Joel and Ellie, of course. After the death of his daughter 20 years later, Joel is a broken man and much more vicious because of losing his daughter, not to mention being in an apocalypse. After losing guns to a traitor of theirs, Joel and Tess have to regain those guns and new ones, but they have to smuggle a girl named Ellie. But why though? We later find out that it is because she was bitten, but she has yet to show any symptoms for 3 weeks, showing that she was immune and was the key to finally getting a cure or a vaccine for this disease. After getting bit herself, Tess finally believes Ellie and tells Joel he has to take Ellie to the Fireflies.
This was 3 weeks. I was bitten an hour ago and it's already worse. This is fucking real, Joel.
So Joel and Ellie travel across the country to find the Fireflies, and over time their bond grows and Joel gets a second chance at being a father to a daughter, which in this case is Ellie. At first, let's just say they didn't really like each other.
Look, I'm not supposed to tell you why you're smuggling me, if that's what you're getting at.
You wanna know the best thing about my job? I don't gotta know why. To be honest with you, I give two shits what you're up to.
Well, great.
Good.
But as the story continued, these two started to grow on each other and started to care and look out for one another. This game was brutal and sad, obviously because of the whole setting of being in a post-apocalyptic world and stuff. There was some slightly humorous parts in the game, but this game was mostly dark. This game had a lot of positive reviews overall because of the story and gameplay, and some going as far as to say this is one of the best games of the decade, including myself. I definitely think this is one of the best games of the decade. They finally get to the Fireflies and Marlene is there too. Marlene tells Joel that with Ellie's immunity, they can finally develop a vaccine. However, this will come at the cost of Ellie's life. Joel refuses to let Ellie get killed and kills the Fireflies and Marlene to get Ellie out of there and go back to Jackson. Joel decides to take the only hope of a vaccine for mankind because he was afraid to lose another daughter of his. At the end of the game, when Joel and Ellie get back to Jackson, where Tommy is, Ellie reveals the story of how her and her friend got bit.
We didn't know what to do. So she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
So judging by that, she was ready to die, and this makes the ending sadder because Joel wanted to save her, and understandably so, because he didn't want to lose another one of his daughters. But then it's revealed that Ellie was very ready to die after the whole, after her friend getting bit. And Joel lies to Ellie and tells her that the Firefly stopped looking for a cure and that there's a lot more people that are immune, and that she has to keep fighting no matter what. Ellie tells Joel to swear to her what he said about the Fireflies is the truth.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
I thought that was a brilliant cliffhanger to this amazing game. The gameplay was really good. I would definitely rate it 5 stars, and the story was just incredible. 5 stars for that too, with the pacing and the story itself being dark and an awesome experience. Not to mention the extra story with the DLC of Left Behind was great too. Overall, I would give this game a 10 out of 10. Like I said, definitely one of the best games of this decade. With the reception it got from fans and critics, it was announced that it would get a sequel, and after 7 years and multiple delays, it was finally released a couple of weeks ago on June 19th, 2020. However, this game was very different in terms of reception. This game got a lot of praise from critics, calling it a masterpiece and perfect, but the fans, I don't think it's perfect. I beat the game a couple of days ago, and at first, I really didn't know how to feel at first. But now I collected my thoughts and organized my thoughts a little bit more about this game, and I could discuss about it a little more, and that's why I decided to make this video. A lot of people's opinions were affected by it being leaked a couple of months ago. What was leaked was what pissed a lot of people off, not gameplay wise, but story wise, and questionable things done about this game. Gameplay wise, I think this game was fantastic. It improved upon the last game with the combat. Not that there was anything wrong with it in the first game, but my god, they improved it so much. And the combat was more brutal and intense than it was in the first game. It was so awesome. The graphics look beautiful too, and the environment just looks so visually appealing and stunning. There's so much to explore in this game. There's like so many safes. There's a lot of artifacts, notes. There's so much in this game. When I was playing the game, I tried to look for every collectible and artifact, but I still haven't collected everything. So overall, in terms of gameplay, I would rate the gameplay of Last of Us Part 2 5 stars overall. But what about the story? Now here's where I'm about to do a little transition screen with transitioning to the spoiler section with some nice elevator music as transitioning into the spoiler section of the video of The Last of Us Part 2. So if you don't want to get spoiled on The Last of Us Part 2, stop watching or just click on the timestamp in the description where it skips to my overall thoughts on the game. So just please, if you do not want to get spoiled, just click the timestamp or stop watching. Please, please, please! So, if you're still here, you don't care about getting spoiled on the game, or you already finished. So here we go. Prepare some tissues too, by the way. We get a little sad. We started off the game going for patrol as Ellie, and I was so intrigued and excited because we got to see more of Jackson than we did in the first game, so that was pretty interesting. And it was cool getting to see the town. And we are introduced to Jesse and Jesse's ex, which is Ellie's love interest, Dina. Ellie and Dina go out on a patrol. Apparently something happened the night prior. We find out later in the game what happened that night. And Joel and Tommy are on a patrol too. We play a little as Ellie until we get to introduced to Owen and the controversial character and second protagonist of the game, or antagonist, depending on how you want to see it, Abby. Now, Abby and Owen and their other friends are in a mansion until they find Jackson, and at first we have no idea what their motives are. When Abby goes out, she is saved by none other than Joel and Tommy from a shit ton of infected. They follow Abby to their mansion and find the rest of Abby's friends there. Joel and Tommy find out that they heard of Joel and shot him in the leg. Abby and their group were called the Washington Liberation Front, or Wolves, and their motive was to find Joel and kill him. Turns out that Dr. Joel killed back at the hospital was Abby's father!
Say what?
This is the part where everybody was infuriated because Abby then kills Joel in the most pathetic and brutal way. She tortures and kills Joel while Ellie comes in the room and she's pinned down. But the thing that was so terrible about how he died, Joel got killed by a golf club. Like, what the fuck? I get that Joel killed her father and this story was about revenge and whatnot, but damn, this is a terrible way to kill off a character we grew attached to in the last game. Joel wasn't all around a good guy, but I mean, look at what he did in the last game.
Go on. I tell you, I ain't lying. I ain't. man. He told you what you wanted. I ain't telling you shit.
That's all right. I believe him.
No, wait!
But he was an anti-hero. He did what he had to do in this apocalyptic world to survive and protect the ones he loved. In this case, he started to protect Ellie, one of the only family he had left. For one of the main characters of the first game that we spent hours, getting to, know and getting to play as in the first game, and for him to be killed at the beginning of the sequel by a newly introduced character was just wrong in my opinion. It's just terrible, man. Ellie wants to go out to find the wolves in Seattle and try and find them for what they did to Joel, but Tommy was one step ahead of her, and now we have to bring back Tommy and kill the wolves in vengeance for Joel. We get to play as Ellie and spend 3 days in Seattle with Dina trying to find Abby and the rest of the wolves. Also, along the way, we encountered a weird cult-like group called the Scars or Seraphites. There's 3 days that they actually spend in Seattle. So after every day, you get to play as younger Ellie and you get to be with Joel. So it's a series of flashbacks of what's happened over the last couple of years. Not gonna lie, that's actually really cool. I really love the flashbacks because we get to see a little bit more of the father-daughter kind of bond that Joel and Ellie developed. And we get to see some funny scenes too. We also get to see Ellie being a little more suspicious about what happened to the Fireflies. And then we soon find out that Joel has already told her about the fact that he lied and he killed all the Fireflies because they were going to kill her to make a vaccine. A lot of people think that these flashbacks would have worked way better as the sequel, but just expanded upon a little more. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people who think that would have been nice. Eventually we find out Dina is pregnant and she stays at the hideout, which is the movie theater. Ellie kills all of the wolves, including a woman named Mel, who is Abby's friend, but it turns out she was pregnant too. And it was just dark, man. I'm not playing around. This game was incredibly dark. Way darker than the first game. They go back to their hideout after finally finding Tommy, and Jesse joins too. My god, there is so much to this story. Sorry, I'm trying to summarize this quick. Abby comes to the movie theater and finds Ellie and the others, and kills Jesse and has Tommy pinned down and wants to kill Ellie for what they did to Abby's friends. After this, we have to play for Abby for half of the game. Like, my god, I was like, man, we have to play as Abby for the rest of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to get us to sympathize with her, but my goodness, we got to play as the killer of Joel for half of the game. So it was like, it was something I really didn't expect. We get to discover her backstory with her father on the day Joel killed the Fireflies and rescued Ellie. We then get to see her story for the 3 days Ellie and Dina were venturing to Seattle trying to find the wolves. We see the wolves as people trying to survive, and we see the rest of Abby's friends and their relationships. Hey, it's those two we just killed! Owen goes missing for a little bit after a little mission or a little patrol they had. Abby is trying to find Owen, but gets captured by the Scars and nearly gets killed, but is saved by 2 teens named Lev and Yara, who were Scars but are running away now because of some disagreements with their culture, so they decided to rebel against them. They break Yara's arm, and Abby takes them to a shelter and finds Owen. Abby decides to go back for Yara and Lev to help them and takes them back to the aquarium, and luckily Mel is there so she can try to help her arm because she's a freaking doctor. They are informed they need supplies, so they have to go to the hospital and gather supplies for her quickly. So over time we get to see Abby grow a bond with Yara and Lev. More so Lev, similar to how Joel and Ellie had a bit of a bond. Man, I'm missing Joel already. After a huge fight that happened on the island of the Scars, Yara's killed by the wolves, and then Lev and Abby barely make it out of there. But when we get back to the aquarium, we see the aftermath of what happened earlier. Ellie and the others killing her friends, and then we are finally caught up with present day, with day 3. Now, the thing that surprised me was the fact that we had to play as Abby when we saw Ellie again. I was like, man, I thought we were gonna switch to Ellie. We had to play as Abby fighting Ellie. And my goodness, I died a lot in this part of the game. Not intentionally, you sick suckers. Abby nearly kills Ellie, Dina, and Tommy, but spares them after she finds out Dina's pregnant, and basically tells them to fuck off. We go to another time skip of about a couple of months, and now Ellie and Dina and their new son, JJ, are on a farm relaxing. But Ellie is still traumatized from what happened to Joel, and she still feels guilty. After finding out that Abby's still alive and she's still out there, she wants to go ahead and find her and kill her. Abby and Lev are captured by some other weird cult, I guess? And Ellie finally finds them after defeating them on an island. Here's the thing where everybody was upset over this part too. After this whole game and after what Abby did to Joel, Ellie and Abby fight a little. Ellie gets the upper hand and Ellie is very emotional and just spares her. Now I get it, this game wasn't just about revenge, but about forgiveness, because in one last flashback that we get at the end of the game, Ellie in a way forgave Joel as seen in a flashback. I get why people would be mad at this, especially because when she returns home, not only has she lost 2 fingers from the fight, but also loses Dina and JJ after she left. They left the house too. Ellie is left with nothing at the end. I get they're trying to set up for the sequel, but my goodness, I felt empty after this game. The storytelling was messy in this game and was way different than a lot of us expected it to be, including myself. The story wasn't all bad, but it wasn't nearly as good as or compelling as the first. The first half was mostly okay. The second half was where things started to get a little messy. I would give the game, in terms of story, 3 stars. And that is being generous. So overall, this game would be an 8 out of 10 for me. I honestly love the combat and gameplay, but the story was just very sloppy, and I felt like it could have been done better, and some things shouldn't have been done, but I get this game was supposed to be dark. I also felt like they could have expanded on some of the characters that we didn't get to see too much, so I would have loved to play as Tommy or something. That would have been nice, actually, playing as Tommy. So again, overall, this game wasn't all bad, but not better than the first in terms of storytelling. That's it for this video. Please like this video if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content like this. This was my first video that I've ever done that's kind of like this, I guess. It's kind of like a retrospective video, so that's kind of cool. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of The Last of Us 2. Are you gonna get it? Have you played it? What do you guys think of it? See you guys in the next video, and take care.